The demolition happening in Lagos State
It's too much.
is the failure and the greediness of the developers. Everybody wants to build what they want.
And not in any way the government, maybe
and
partially.
not colliding with what government wants. They want to build what they want. Along the line, okay, let's give like Orchid
Okay.
as an example. Look at the back of Orchid.
Yeah.
That place is a river.
Yeah.
Because the Omonile want to sell, the developers want to buy, they want to build a unit and resell. They sandfill the whole place. Where did they want the water to pass? In Lagos State, if any demolition should happen or any collapse building, the head is going to be the first person that will face the penalty. They did 15 floors for approval, and they went ahead and started doing 21 floors. A project of 15 floors, you know that the foundation you did is for 15 floors.
Yeah.
So for you to have moved ahead of that, then definitely there's going to be a collapse. And that is why government have now enforced that any building that goes more than what you get approval for, yes, you have to remove, or government will come and remove it for you.
It's another beautiful day to talk about real estate. It's another beautiful day to listen to conversations that you knew nothing about. And it's another beautiful day for us to enlighten you about what we're talking about today. My name is Ria Abdul, and welcome to Real Talk with BRG. Today we're talking about something quite vital. But before I go into it, you know that I don't do this alone. Of course, the beautiful Sarah Smells is right here with me. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing good.
I love your color. I love what you're wearing. I think yellow looks beautiful on every black queen.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, guys, but today we're talking about real estate regulations and construction approval process in Lagos. We're delving into that topic. And you know that we're not going to do it alone. We have an able-bodied Alhaji is right here with us. I'm talking about Alhaji Wahib Yemi, and he's a town planning consultant. He's right here with us. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
You're welcome.
Alhaji, Sanadazua. Let me greet him in Hausa because we greet all our Alhajis.
I don't think you can.
I know, but I'm still
I can't speak in a lot.
welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Fine, man.
We're so happy to have you here with us. But before we even go straight into what we're talking about, I kindly want you to tell our viewers what you do, like what you really do. I know that you're a town planning consultant, but I just want you to elaborate more.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Alhaji Wahab Yemi. I'm a property consultant, also planning consultant. In two things we do, we try to get approval for clients, especially developers. And then we are also into construction sometimes, and then we also do layouts, because most, even before you can say you will build anything, there's always a layout for every particular area.
Yeah.
So you get that is being approved by the government. So we are into that too. We're also into land services. Land services like certificate of occupancy, which is the CFO, and then consent. Then consent like change of your title, government regularization like things, property that you buy from the government. So those are the services we rendered.
Okay, nice. So but before we even start, let's warm Alhaji up a bit because we're about to drill him. So Alhaji, what do you do for fun?
Well, football. I watch football.
Who's your favorite fan? Or your favorite fan club?
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Who is your favorite player?
Mo Salah.
No, I love Mo Salah too. So
I thought you're like
Barcelona fan.
No.
Why Barcelona? That's it.
No.
That's where, I mean, they are like the best. Blaugrana for life.
Yeah, the only person I know is, I know Mo Salah, I know Igalo, because I love Igalo. So those are the only people that I know in football. I don't know anybody else. But let's go straight into our topic for today. The first question I want to ask you is something that is really important, and it's something that people also want to know about. You know, what are the primary regulations governing construction in real estate in Lagos?
Yeah, when we are talking about primary regulations,
then
we need to talk about things or the rules that, okay, even before you say, I want to start construction, what are the things I need to know? What are the things I need to do? Yes. And the number one thing that you need to know or you need to do is that you need to get a consultant.
Okay.
To tell you things that are required before you can say you will start your construction, like obtaining for your building plan approval, then collecting necessary documentation.
Okay.
Then after that, make sure your, what's it called? You don't contravene the government. You don't contravene the government, and then make sure every professional that is going to work on that site, they must be professionals. You don't just accept any people to come and work for you, and then make sure you keep all the do's and don'ts so that you won't get penalized by the government.
Yeah. With regards to what you said, professionals, I've heard a story that these developers, they do something like this. Let's take, for example, they want to build more than 15-story building. And then they know it's no more going through the commissioner, it's going directly to the governor's table. And they know that for the governor to approve, they have to liaise or collaborate with a company like Julius Berger. And then they get to partner with them. They do the carcass level. They made the very foundational. But by the time they start all those other constructions, they are not solid. The product, the materials they'll be using will be substandard. So in that aspect, is there anything the government is doing?
Yeah, that is why we have material testing.
Okay.
We have these regulatory bodies to checkmate each material that are using on site. They will be the one to know the integrity of each construction that you are doing, each step. And then we have the Lagos State Building Control Agency. They are the one to monitor each stages from the piling to the each levels of how the jobs are going. So these are the people. They can really go into that process and then do their due diligence. So that, and then even before you can say you are constructing a 15 buildings, then they should, the issue of LAPCA and all people, they will make sure you get the necessary documents before you can say, okay, we are building. Now, for the case of those people that violate those rules or not using competent professionals, yes, there is always a license that you have to drop or submit to the regulatory bodies. That, this is kind of things I do. I am the structural engineer. I am the mechanical engineer. Each of them have their license. So whosoever that fails his job is going to be penalized. Some can even serve a jail term.
But you know, when they have connections, and then in that aspect, everything is being covered up. In fact, we have some people that would actually do their jobs, and at the end of the day, they probably close the site. But then the people that owns the property, they have access to some, places, and then they just continue at that. And also, can you build with building approval permits in progress?
Yeah, you are not meant to build when the building permit is in progress.
Okay.
You have to wait
till it's
to
been
when
approved.
it's been out, that has been approved. That is when you can now start building.
Okay.
But due to some issues, like probably maybe you got a loan that you want to build and all like that, definitely you should be ready to pay for the penal fee. Sure, you get me?
Yeah.
So by paying the penal fee, then getting the necessary letter of authorization, letter of commencement, and then the green sticker that is going to be on site.
Yeah.
So by getting all those things, then you have to call the building control agency to come and monitor each construction stages that you are doing.
Okay.
So that is when you can say, okay, you can start building.
But talking about building permits, what are some of the things that go into it for you to obtain like your building permit?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
like
I know you cannot just build without having that.
yes. Like you are talking about the requirements
Yeah, the
needed
requirements,
to be the first one is your survey plan. Your survey plan will tell you the size of your land, what you can do with it, and then when you submit a survey plan to us as a consultant, you can't just you tell us your dreams, like, okay, I want to go 4 floors, I want to go. Then who will have to be the one that will chart that your survey plan for you? We will go to the agency, we will chart it. We will make sure that your dreams can go in line with what the government wants. Sure, you get me? In a situation that maybe you are planning on 4 floors and then what government wants is 3 floors on that location. Definitely you are going on 3 floors.
Okay, but so that means does it greatly depend on what the government wants?
Mostly, it always depends on what the government wants.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Reason one is that
Government owns
we
land.
have model city plan for everywhere in Lagos State. Let me give an example. Ikate, we have layout for that places. So in Ikate, there should be a level that you can go. We have some places that are residential use. We have some that are misuse. and we have some that are commercial use. Some are even institutional. Some are recreational activities. Shall you get me? In Ekate, when the height of residential use that you can go there is 8 floors.
Okay.
So whatever that you are dreaming as a residential use, don't dream more than 8 floors. So for your misuse, you can still go 10 floors. For your misuse, probably maybe you want to use part of your building for shops or anything, then you can't go more than 10 floors. And then for the commercial buildings, you can go 15 floors.
What about properties in Lekki now? It has been commercialized.
Yeah, a lot.
Yes.
A whole lot has been commercialized.
Yes.
A whole lot.
Most
I feel
of-
like Lekki is now commercialized. Like before you
Yes.
see 2 houses, you are seeing like an office.
I mean,
Maybe a bar or something like that. There
more
is-
than that.
and that,
this-
even offices, so many things.
Yes. You know, Lekki is now the heart of Lagos.
Really?
Yes, we can't
I
call
didn't
it.
know this.
Yeah.
We can't,
Lagos.
we can't call Ikeja the heart of Lagos anymore. But Ikeja is just like a central. But Lekki, most people want to live
It's
here.
not Ikoyi.
Yeah,
I think Ikoyi should be the heart of
Ikoyi, yes, Ikoyi is
Residential.
on top. Then Lekki follows.
Lekki is down.
Lekki is now commercialized, and it's supposed
And
to be
if you are
residential.
talking about Lekki, don't tell me you are staying in Shangote.
Yeah,
and you are
because
staying in,
but it's all together with Lekki. So
Yeah.
please, when we are talking Lekki, let's know where we are ending.
yes, if you are talking about Lekki, we talk about making from phase 1.
Guys,
Yes, I'm talking about Lekki
So
phase 1.
that is where we call Lekki.
Yeah.
Now the impact of them using some places for commercial things, government need to look into that. Government need to make sure that either Ministry of Environment or Ministry of the Building Control Agency, they have to checkmate them, because most of them they don't have approval to convert from their residential use to their commercial use. You can see a memo that just came out recently when Building Control Agency say they give them 30 days to convert every residential that they convert back to commercial. They should convert it back, because most people now, you see places like churches in a residential area where it's supposed to be
Noise in the morning
silent,
and
so
all
there's
that,
noise pollution, there's environmental hazard. So most all these things are polluting the area. So
Climate
government,
change
yes,
discussion.
government want to really go into it, and that's the reason why they give them 30 days.
But is it 30 days running?
Yes, now it's running
wow.
already. Government are really working. You just believe maybe we are not doing anything on this. We are really working.
Yeah.
Okay,
We are really working on them.
that's fine. So, what can you say with regards to the demolition happening in Lagos State? I'd really like us to talk about that as well.
Yeah, the demolition happening in Lagos State
It's too much.
is the failure and the greediness of the developers.
Only the developers?
Yes, I won't say only the developers.
Great.
Even the building resident people too.
Okay.
Everybody want to build what they want,
And not in any way the government, maybe
and
partially.
not colliding with what government want. They want to build what they want along the line. Okay, let's give like Orchid
Okay.
as an example. Look at the back of Orchid.
Yeah.
That place is a river.
Yeah.
Because the Omonile want to sell,
Yeah.
the developers want to buy, they want to build in unit and resell. They sandfill the whole place. Where did they want the water to pass?
the drainage.
So if there is now a lot of heavy rain pour, it will now affect the people living
People
there.
there.
That is when they will now start saying government does not do this, and government is allowing them
But
to do this.
that brings me to the question of because when it comes to developers, we see a lot of people that we know that this place might collapse, it might fall, but they still go ahead and do it. But I'm like, what regulation is the government doing?
Thank
are
you.
they really are there regulations in place? Because why would they wait? For me, I don't know, but I always had in mind that why would you wait for anything finish and not bring it down?
They feel like they have
Like
every
why
right
is it
to
that when
stop
it's even
it.
halfway, you cannot bring it down to say, or I don't know,
They have every right
Yes.
to stop it.
There are two bodies that
Okay.
monitor this. The Ministry of Environment, they will monitor your drainage very well, so that you don't go and do what you are not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then the main agency that works on your construction is the Lagos State Building Control Agency and the Lagos State Planning Authority. The planning authority is when you get your approval, you get the necessary things that you are supposed before you can say you want to commence your construction.
Yeah.
You obtain your approval. Then after that, the Lagos State Building Control Agency,
That's good.
if they keep on monitoring, just like the way things have now been more effective, we've been effective in all this construction because when we realize that we are seeing collapsed buildings, and probably maybe somebody is building and then along the line we just see that okay, everything just come down. So government have now channeled, they've enlightened and then they've trained more of their officers to look into this. Now, even before you can build anything, you have so many things that you have to obtain. After your approval, you still need to go to Lagos State Building Control Agency before you can even start anything on site.
Yes.
They have to give you a letter of commencement, letter of authorization, and green sticker. Then after that, you still have to do the insurance on your building.
Wow. But
Does that-
So most developers don't know these things.
They
And
don't know.
They
But we're
don't
still
know.
talking about developers. I'm going to say this because where I used to live before in Lekki, I don't know if this has to do with the developers as well, but like they build houses so close to each other, like the land is little.
Yeah.
That is it from the government or
tiny.
from? Or,
Let's
like there's not even ventilation because you are building houses like so close to each other.
the issue of that problems, we will say is from the. I won't say it's from the government.
Sorry, I just tried to say government.
No, no, no.
Honestly.
Okay.
I won't say
Because-
it's from the government. The reason why I won't say it's from the government is like, okay, let me give you an example. You buy a land 350 million.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
You buy a land 350 million, and then government tells you that your land that you bought 350 million, you can't go more than 2 floors. You have to leave 3 meters setback, 3 meter airspace, and 6 meters
Okay.
for parking.
Yeah.
And you look at what's this person saying? They will now decide to violate that rule. Instead of maybe like 2 floors, 2 units, they will now go ahead and build like some can even build like 3 floors
Yeah.
and 6 units. Just because they want to make profit. They really want to make their profit back. And that is the reason why you will see that, okay, some developers, they will now start boycotting the corners.
Don't you feel like developers, they build without planning? All respect to you, but don't you think some of them just build without even planning?
Most of them build without planning.
Yeah.
And then when they do this, there's penalty for it.
Thank
Do
you.
they really face the penalty?
They really face the penalty because once you are caught, some people will have built and then they won't got caught.
Yeah.
But once you are caught building, on your if you submit your drawing, normally when you are supposed to pay the normal fee, government will penalize you. You pay times 4 of that processing fee.
What if they are capable to pay it and still continue with that? Plus, you said something about being caught, right? You know, in Nigeria or in Lagos, for example, before while they are building construction, I feel like there's supposed to be eyes on ground
Yeah.
that would be,
We have
you
them.
know, that would make sure to
I think
catch
it's-
them
so the
without
thing is, I say it's not
reporting
even
themselves.
about having them, it's
have
about
them.
are they doing it right?
See, in the last
I feel like there are not many. There are not many.
there are
enough.
much now. Even if you want to build thousands of terraces, we have engineers. We have engineers that can monitor everything that you are doing. We have them. But if you fail to call them to come to that site,
Yeah.
that is when you see the issue of breaking and then demolition part of that building just for you to comply. Because if you have spent over 1 billion on a project and government just decide demolishing
Demolishing
it,
it.
how do you feel?
I feel like they
Can
ought
you
to
sell?
know. I feel
You
like
can't.
Sir, I feel like those people we are supposed to call, when we don't call them, or when the developers don't call them, they ought to know that something is happening somewhere.
Yeah. Does it work that way actually?
Do you get? Does it work that way in
Yes,
Nigeria?
there
or Lagos?
we have 2 units that do that for us.
Okay.
We call them the MCU, the monitoring units and compliance. That is, they monitor that. And we also have, LABCA is the major people
Yeah.
that are meant to do all these things. Once a LABCA officer, when they start going around to check houses that have approval, that is why you see they will serve you a contravention notice. Either you have approval or not, they will serve you.
Okay.
The meaning is that they want you to come to the office, come with your approval. Then any house or any building that does not have building plan approval, Here you get me?
Yeah.
Then they will now enforce you. They will penalize you first
Okay.
for not having that. They will list all the things that you contravene. Like
Yeah.
from your setting out, from putting one block on the floor till to that stage that you have.
Okay.
They will penalize you for it.
There was a time that one LABCA representative was being held, likely hostage or being arrested because they thought he didn't do his job well. Meanwhile, he did his job thoroughly and he closed down the particular asset. But because of the high level of people, individual building, the owner of the property, they went and they cut corners and still continued the project. It will still go there again and close it down, continue the project.
Yeah.
And
Then
something
bribery is
happened to
happening,
it.
or are they bribing?
Yeah, honestly,
We
something
can't say
happened to the
we can't say
apart the
it.
project, and then they now put the blame on the LABCA representative.
You see, in Lagos State, if any demolition should happen or any collapse building, the head is going to be the first person that will face the penalty. And that is the reason why the GM was once suspended.
Okay.
Because you people, you see the stages of how this construction are going. You are doing your checkmate. But along the line, when they realize this man has been sealing up that site,
Yeah, they released him. Yeah.
they have to leave
They
him alone.
released him,
Because
yeah.
they now realize it's probably the level of the power might not even be in Lagos State.
Yeah.
True.
Sure, you get me? It might just be a call.
And then they will kill it again.
Eh. So if you now look that kind of a project, you see there is no more there is not compliance on that project.
Okay.
Probably maybe they did 15 floors for approval, and they went ahead and started doing 21
Yeah.
floors.
Exactly.
A project of 15 floors, you know that the foundation you did is for 15 floors.
Yeah.
So for you to have moved ahead of that, then definitely there's going to be a collapse.
Yeah.
And that is why government have now enforced that any building that goes more than what you get approval for,
Yeah.
yes, you have to remove, or government will come and remove it for you.
Okay, but let's talk about some of the common challenges developers face when it comes to regulations.
Challenges that they
Yes,
face.
that they face.
Well, mostly maybe when they fail to do their due diligence.
Okay.
If they fail to do their due diligence, government will frustrate you. But most developers too, they fail to consult the right people, to let them know things that they need to get done.
And I also heard that some of them did the right thing, but the outrageous prices that the government give them makes them take those kind of decisions.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do you have to say about that?
If you are talking about outrageous prices, in Lagos State, in every 5 years, this assessment must be increased because it is we keep on developing. This is a developing state. Sure, you get me? It's a
Yeah.
developing state, and then in that kind of situation, they don't have government. If they need any review
Yeah.
on government assessment, they have a forum.
Okay.
They have a forum. I was telling one of my developers recently that he was complaining about the high increase in assessment and all. I said there will be increase. Government want to make revenue. They want to generate revenue so that they can do more facilities for you people. So that they can do more amenities for you people. So when in an area that you are building, there should be a drainage already. There should be road. There should be even a pipe-borne water that they can use easily to access.
Yeah.
Sure, you get me?
Yeah.
But those things, they cost government money. So they will have to channel it on somewhere, on constructions too. So before you can get your building plan, so if you now want any review, then there is a forum. They did recently they did a retreat between the government agency and the developers.
Yeah.
They want them to come and talk, and then none of them was able to even made mention of things like that. We were even expecting them to complain because governor is there, everybody is there, so we expect them to complain. So if you fail to do that, then maybe probably the rate is okay with you.
Yeah, but we hear stories where the people that, like the landlords, they are willing to maybe make adjustments and then they tender the proposal to the government, but the government will not want to approve it or call outrageous prices again for them to commence something they're supposed to do.
Yeah, like the issue of gutter, right?
Yes. And road and the likes.
And before you can say you build a gutter for your property or constructions, you have to visit Ministry of Environment.
Ministry of Environment.
Yes. They will tell you there is a clearance that you have to get. So they will tell you the number of setback and airspace and this number of setback that you have to leave before you start your construction. There is a minimum wide for the road.
Okay.
If you say because you want to build your own gutter, you do it or this way, and then there is a tiny road in a place, maybe let me say a road of 8 meters, and then you are leaving 6 meters or 4 meters.
Yeah.
So it's always an issue. Sure, you get me? And then like the issue of people that are building close to the canal, there is regulation for that. If you want to build close to the canal, if it is a constructed canal, then you have to leave like 8 meters before you even start your construction. Those are the experience of people in Ikota that they faced. So, and then if you are building in a canal where it has not been constructed, then you should leave a 15-meter setback, because government can come anytime and come and do their rules. Now, look at what Honorable Tokunbo is doing, and the Commissioner for Environment. He's trying to make sure that everybody obey the rules and regulation of the state, and which I really encourage that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
All right, but before we let you go, what do you think the government can do to make sure that all this regulatory framework is being improved on?
Yeah, the government have things that government can easily do to make sure all these regulations and make sure that people comply to this thing. We've set up bodies. Yes, we set up bodies for obtaining your approval. We have the Lagos State Planning Authority.
Yeah.
That is where you apply for your building plan approval. Before you can commence your construction, we have Lagos State Building Control Agency.
Okay.
That is when you get your necessary documents, your builder's compliance and everything, your insurance and everything, before you can start your construction.
Yeah.
Then we now have Ministry of Environment. They will come and checkmate if that place is feasible for what you want to do. Probably maybe in an area, you say you want to build probably an hotel in a residential area.
Yeah.
So the EIA, which is Environmental Impact Assessment, is going to be the one that you have to produce that, so that it will tell us that, okay, this thing that you want to really do here, is it going to affect the people within the vicinity or not? Or is it going to be good to them? So you get me?
Yes.
So or people that desire to have filling stations, you have to do EIA. This assessment that you do, these are the basic tools that will assess that, okay, this is what we want to do here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there is a regulatory bodies or agency that monitor that, okay, this thing that you are doing can easily work here. And if it cannot work, they will tell you it cannot work.
Cannot work. And I'm really happy that we get to have a part 2 on this topic, because it's quite a broad topic to elaborate more on that. But before we actually let you go, our time is short. I just want you to give us your final words to developers, like for how they can be better, basically.
Okay. My advice to the developers: obtain the necessary documents before construction. With that, you are 50% safe from the government.
Yeah.
Because once you have your approval, you have your letter of commencement, you have your letter of authorizations, you have your green sticker on site, there's a safety board.
Yeah.
You make sure that, okay, there's all these safety kits, you have everything. Then your material testing, you visit them, you give them a report of what you are doing on site. If you are doing all these things, even developer can go home and sleep. Even with the government agency, will be at rest.
Yes, I agree with you.
So me, I will advise them that they should try and always obey. If they say, don't say because of profit making. If you start considering because of profit making, many things will be affected. Some can cut through corners, but it will still be affected. If you cut corner today, eventually somebody come up tomorrow. Somebody he knows that place is 6 floors and you build 8 floors. He knows, but he's just waiting for him to get to that post. Then once he gets to that post, he will come and he's going to be the first thing that will come and do. He will make sure that, okay, he will bring that thing down. So for you to avoid all those things, you obey the rules and regulations of the government.
Thank you very
So
much.
There
thank
you
you, ma'am.
have it. Thank you so much. I really cannot wait for part 2.
Honestly.
Because this is a beautiful conversation and it's something that goes a long way. It's not something that we can
There are
box. But
lots of
anyway,
lessons to
it's
learn
been
from
an
this.
amazing one. But Sarah, do us the honors to close.
Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one. Bye, guys.